I got into high school and after the witchcraft craze of saying Harry Potter was evil like died down a little bit, then finally we read Harry Potter.
I don't remember ever hearing that Harry Potter was evil.
You lived in Florida. I lived in Utah. That's the difference.
Okay. All right.
Because I remember when it first came out, everybody was like, this is a very bad book. It's all about witchcraft and making it cool and all this stuff. And lots of people had that opinion. And then eventually they were like, Harry Potter's so cool. And now look at me.
Did you read all the Harry Potter books?
Actually, okay, so I don't think I read the last couple because it got really dark. Dark enough for me to be like, if I can't read this at night and fall asleep easily, then I feel like I'm inviting like a bad spirit and I don't want to. Mm-hmm. But I did read like all the other ones. I know I read probably up till 5.
Okay.
But I've seen all the movies multiple times, so it's I don't know, it's different when you're like, I think reading a book, like you bring that feeling for a lot longer because it takes longer to read a book than a movie. So for some reason, I'm okay with watching the movies, even though they're creepy when the book's like, yeah.
That's
anyways.
funny.
But it was like enough that we loved it enough that we like went to the midnight release of every book after
of every movie,
like 2.
Where did you go to the midnight release of the book?
The book.
I didn't know there were midnight releases.
There were midnight
for the
releases of the book at our little Walmart where we lived down in Ephraim.
Really?
And we would go and we were like, the next book is coming out. We were like, all go. We're all these teenagers and just like waiting in line. And then I think I just remember a big pallet that was only books, and they like unwrapped it, and then everybody was like, grabbing the books.
I do remember. All my friends were reading Harry Potter when I think the 4th book came out.
Okay.
Or the 5th book, one of those two.
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody's reading this. I'm going to read it. So I read the first 4 books. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really, none of them really caught my like attention.
Your fancy.
Like I never was like, oh, Harry Potter. It was more of a like, well, everybody's reading these, so I better read them. And I read the first 3 or 4, and everyone's like, keep going, they get better. And I was like, okay. So I read like half of the 5th, and I just got bored halfway through the book and I quit reading. I think that who writes those? J.K. Rowling. I think that right around the time that 3 was done, they became a sensation.
Yeah.
So she started writing them longer. And if you notice, the books get considerably longer after book 3. And I think because she was making them longer, she was filling them with more fluff to try to get more readers, I guess. And so that didn't appeal to me. I was like already not really keeping my interest.
I think you just didn't like her as an author. Like you know how, okay, sometimes when you read a book, like you'll find an author that you're like, I will read anything they put out because I love the way they write.
That is true.
Like I think that she probably just didn't.
She didn't do it for me.
Click with you.
Yeah, and I read a lot of other books.
Because I really like the way that she writes, but I didn't like the dark feeling. Is all.
It could be I didn't like the way that she writes. It also could be that I didn't really relate to any of the characters. You
were older than me. I was their age. Like, especially once the movie came out, I was like, oh my goodness, they're my age. I want to read the books.
Oh yeah, I was probably like 15, and here I am reading a book about an 11-year-old.
Yeah.